Folks, what changes are you looking forward to? Yes, so the stream has begun and we are here. Welcome to Ringside Riffs by and this Cortez. We're just gonna jump into what we're seeing right now in the WWE, the things that are changing, the things that we are seeing and continue to see evolve. We have seen so many things being happening in the WWE, the inclusion of AAA, Chelsea Green getting that title. That's something that we need to dive into, and that's exactly why it's all looking like that. It's all being understood, it's all being said, it's all making sense if you look at it like that, because it comes to the necessary fact that it will be coming for the WWE. The changes are being necessary, the changes are being made, the things are being implemented so that we, the fans, cannot see a predictable show. We're coming into the most pivotal part. It's gonna be WrestleMania season, so why not focus on that attention? Why not focus on what we need to see? Why not focus exactly on the things that are happening? Now, bringing up to your attention, we're gonna see exactly what I am referring to, exactly what I mean. We're gonna be seeing what happened in a SmackDown, but exactly the changes that we are now seeing, the implementations, the new things that we are seeing for WWE, the way that it continues to see. Cody Rhodes was out there. You know, it's gonna be a great day if we got Cody Rhodes on the mic. And of course, we're looking at his new content, his new enemy, the new person that was gonna be the person against Cody Rhodes. We thought he was over, Drew McIntyre. We thought that things were over. We thought the games were played. But look, in the end, even if you wanted to get emotional, even if you wanted to get excited, even if you wanted to be getting the things that he was gonna be facing Aleister Black, well, things didn't really quite work like that, because of course, well, you'll find out. You might as well have seen the show. It's about the changes that they're doing, right? It's about the people that they are now pushing. It's about the ways that they are now telling these storylines. They weren't afraid to give Selena Vega a new character. They weren't afraid to make these changes with Cody Rhodes' storyline. Yeah, for one point, I was scared about Damian Priest. I mean, what happened to the guy? Why was he being pushed out? Why was he a title holder and then he goes crumbling down to the ground? Well, at one sense, it did make sense, but now it goes to that. What else happened in SmackDown, though? Of course, Tommaso Ciampa, he seems to be having some type of thing against Dragunov, and is he gonna take the title away? It's hard to say. Is he gonna be the one to dethrone him? I really doubt it. Now, a lot of things, the U.S. Open Challenge, it's a great form to give it more prestige. Of course, the matches have to mean something, and that's kind of why I didn't really like this one with Johnny Gargano, because yeah, it's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be Johnny Gargano against Elijah Dragunov, but it's not gonna really be what it was meant out to be. It's gonna be supposedly an open challenge. You give the challenges to the good guys. You give the challenges over to the bad guys. It doesn't really matter who it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a defending title. Now, we do have this John Cena retirement. We have this draft thing going. We have Sami Zayn being super upset with the MFTs. I mean, they just keep putting Sami Zayn and these things over with, of course, the Solo Sikoa, with, of course, the Tribal Chief family, and it just comes to a point where we really have to be paying attention into what they're trying to do. Now, we had, of course, Fraxium laughing at, Tommaso Ciampa because of the loss. Is that gonna build some type of feud? Now, Jada Cargill came out. She said she's that bitch, and that's pretty much it. And we got a heel. We got a person that's really defiant. And what's gonna happen? Charlotte Flair came out, and it's just to the point where Triple H is controlling the whole show. He's just pretty much putting over his people. Whatever happened to Mitchin, whatever happened to her, she's been pushed out of the thing. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about Chelsea Green getting that title. Chelsea Green not only getting over and getting that AAA mixed tag team title, she went over and over here did a surprise roll, did the cheap way, whatever you want to call it, but she got the title. She's again for a two-time United States champion, and it's actually makes sense because her gimmick is right there. Everybody supports her in that sense, and it should just be played out because they're not doing anything with Julia. I mean, for the fact she didn't even have to defend her title, she never did anything. But we had, of course, Nia Jackson against Charlotte Flair, and Nia Jax, she's done an amazing job of always just putting on a performance. Now we got Lash Legend coming out here, but we got John Cena's retirement tour. There's a few things that come up, but please, they can't be yeet. We got a surprise person. Oh my God. Who is LA Knight gonna face? At one point, I'm like, does it even matter? Because I hope LA Knight doesn't have to lose. Now, Nia Jax continues to build up this tag team in the sense that she does need someone always with her to be crowned as a title. Now, to the point where Julia, what are we going to do with Julia? Because now she doesn't have the title. When she had the title, she didn't really do anything. And of course, Chelsea Green and everything like that, she's going to overcome with the storylines. Nathan Page at NXT. I mean, the whole fact of the matter is that it actually makes sense. It actually connects it, and it actually puts it all full circle as how it should be. But one point is clear. I mean, we have whatever will be happening with Chelsea Green, but what will be happening with Julia? I mean, is she just gonna break up from the lawyer? Is she just gonna go over for another title? I mean, I really feel like that opportunity was lost for the beautiful Madness to have been in NXT, have been so impressive, have been having her own thing, and then they just partnered her up and made her pretty much non-existent as a title holder. Now we got, of course, Solo Sikoa, my guy, the guy who deserves a bit more respect, deserves a bit more of what he has been getting. And to the point, I'm asking myself, why is it that Solo Sikoa is now running these MFTs? He better be winning. He better be winning those titles. He better be winning some things. He better be winning a bunch of more credibility. The Kabuki Warriors put this on their YouTube channel. It was a fun little experiment where they're pretty much blinding over on Alexa Bliss, and that was great. But yeah, the MFTs had to pretty much dominate. They did. They continue to show. I mean, fear is what we have. But what are they cooking it for? What are we going to be building? Are we going to be building some type of war games? Because that's coming up, and I really haven't heard anything. I really haven't understood what exactly we're going to be doing with war games. Where exactly are we heading with those games? We've seen a few things, a few changes, a few implementations of what could be happening, but at the same time, we're at war. I mean, we have the MFTs, they're building them up. The Y6, that's what I heard. Is that going to be a War Games? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Now, The Miz deserves more respect. The guy, Grand Slam champion, the guy who deserves that respect is The Miz. And for the matter of fact, for some reason, I believe he's going to lose. I mean, they keep on pushing Jey Uso, so I don't really know what they're going to be doing now. Drew McIntyre claymoring the ref. I mean, that was beautiful. That was great. That was awesome. I mean, Drew McIntyre, he has a point. Everything has been against him. He's gonna break Cody Rhodes. Hopefully, he makes Cody Rhodes turn heel in the sense where he likes to play dirty now. He's not gonna be able to trust anybody. He's always gonna go the extra distance. It's one of the point where we got to see Damian Priest come out, and he's had his feud with Drew McIntyre. He has his feud with Aleister Black, and it's like another congregation of people that they're interesting, but I feel like they need a bit more respect because they get lackluster and they're just trying to get a bit more creative so that Cody Rhodes' reign doesn't get stale. But Drew McIntyre, he deserves more respect. Damian Priest deserves more respect. We got all these superstars pretty much not getting the enough attention that they should be deserving, and yet they're not getting that respect. Well, we'll see what happens. Of course, how they're gonna be building this up, because the next things we have in store is what's gonna be cooking, what's gonna be there at War Games, what's gonna be pretty much for that Thanksgiving feast. It's gonna be an important one, and then we got the retirement tour. We got a lot of things cooking, maybe in the different directions. Maybe it's all about John Cena right now. Maybe it's not about the WWE superstars because some of them are going on vacation. But we are looking at what will be happening. It is an interesting point of view of what we saw on SmackDown. It is an interesting thing on how they have shown these type of changes, how they have shown that they are not afraid to do some changes, that they are not afraid to come over and implement new ideas, to implement new changes, new strategies to the way that they're storytelling us. We had Aleister Black, who pretty much, I thought he was lost, right? He came in, had his little thing with Carmelo Hayes, then he came over and had his feud with Damian Priest, and I really thought they were just gonna keep it at mid-level, but for some reason, boom, now he's going off against Cody Rhodes, and maybe it wasn't a clean match, maybe there won't be a type of rematch, there won't be another, but just to be in that little conversation, it gives everybody else around, maybe the people that weren't really paying attention to Aleister Black, they give them the opportunity to now put an eye on him, now buy some merchandise, now see whatever is happening. Are they interested in those type of things? Now, we're going to dive deep even deeper, into what is happening over and over and over in what we see. Now, starting off with the news in what is happening in WWE, we had Logan Paul trying to turn a face, but is anybody going to actually respect him? We had Selena Vega, we had Jada Cargill just come out and say that. We had, of course, the retirement of John Cena. We have the Open Challenge, which could it be losing a bit of pristine now that it's being called on and called on and called on? It is a good question. It is a good implementation of what are we going to be seeing? How are we going to be seeing some type of differences, some type of changes, some type of new facts? Because what comes to the point, to the matter, to the thing that it could be a title reign that is well respected. Well, it has to be superstars that are being well respected. It has to be superstars that have the backing of the fans, that not only look the part but are playing the part. So at what point are we seeing Elijah Dragunov's maybe title run be a little diluted with what happened with Johnny Gargano, with what happened with him not accepting that match against Tommaso Ciampa by that type of thing? Now, I think Nia Jax, Lash Legend, it's a good thing because last time we saw Lash Legend, she was going off, she was trying to become that bougie bully or whatever, and it's going to be a good thing. She's back on SmackDown, she looks better than ever, she's going to be doing a good implementation, she's going to be doing some good things, some good changes, some good number one fans, number one dances, and number one opportunities coming all the way to the end, coming all the way to the change at the station. Now, hopefully, we continue to see some Aleister Black, some good strategies, some good implementations there, because I wouldn't want it to be to the pact where he's not getting the respect he needs. He's just becoming some type of gimmick. He's just becoming some type of character, all for the WWE to just pretty much come into and give him a perspective. It would be to the fact where we need to give Aleister Black a bit more of a push, a bit more, if we really want to put him in that mainstream caliber. Right now we're respecting the guy, right? We're putting him in a place where he does deserve to be risen up, to be in that title, to be in that ring, to be having those matches with Cody Rhodes, right? But could it be that, he is turning into some type of gimmick, some type of showing, some type of thing where it wants not to be what he is showing out, but he is coming out to be like because I see Selena Vega being in front, doing her little dance, doing her little, and I'm like, why is she pretty much taking over the spotlight? I know it was never been Aleister Black to be in the front, but why can't it just be like, a bit more like Selena, stay in your lane, please. Now, whatever I said, Logan Paul turning into face, could it just be because we're gonna see him in that the oracle, in that vision, what is happening, what could have happened, the visionary, when will he be back? I mean, the questions of Seth Rollins' storyline are pretty much left up for grab. The questions of what's going to be happening with Logan Paul, why did he help out CM Punk? Should we even be questioning that? Does that even matter? Does that even give the party the grace, the form of the fact that he shouldn't be in the conversation? Not because I'm a hater, right? I respect Logan Paul and the fact that he's been doing great matches, he's been putting on great performances, but the way that it feels, or I guess it's actually the storyline, right? Like the way that it feels like he's pushing himself into these scenarios where it's the most obvious scenario where they wouldn't want him to be here, and he is putting himself in these type of conversations. He is now, of course, right now, I'm gonna help out CM Punk because I've always been a good guy, but you guys have never seen me like that. I wouldn't doubt it because we've always seen him talk back to us. We've always seen him change and be persuasive, be some type of way where he's manipulating. So could it be to the fact that he is just doing this out of ruse, out of a change in his heart? He's just like the Grinch. Something is growing in him, and his little heart has grown the tenths of the size, where he is now defending the little guy. He is now changing himself over to be a good person, over to be someone who does deserve the fact, the cheerness, and the people behind his back. Now, that could be an interesting concept, but the most interesting thing is John Cena. The most interesting thing is John Cena back in his hometown, back in Boston, upcoming literally this Monday Night Raw. It's going to be something that I believe, just because it's John Cena, we all need to watch. We all need to be paying attention. We all need to be seeing what is happening, because it's the last time. The last time is now. The changes are coming. He is pretty much saying goodbye. He is pretty much this. If it's not going to be some type of call out, if it's not going to be some type of give me a quick match right now, then it's going to be some type of thing where John Cena is just going to be talking to the crowd. He's going to be reminiscing. He's going to be telling us how much this all means to him and how much it's all been. And it's just crazy to see how this actual retirement tour has worked out to be. Not a lot of people have been happy with the changes, have been happy with what they've done, that heel turn, that little, right before he retires, let's do something we all question. And did they ruin John Cena? Did they? Because he's still that fruity pebble person. He's still having all those colors. He's still having that cheerful mentality. So did they ruin John Cena? Did they actually, with what they did of giving him that heel turn, did they actually cause this little gray area where we're always going to be talking about it, where we're always going to say, why did they need to have done that? Why did they need to have changed John Cena? Why did they need to have just, for the shock value, for us to watch, for the people that weren't watching, for the ESPN people that, oh my God, he's gonna go against Brock Lesnar. I mean, that mentality that they've had, that they continue to show for John Cena, is just what makes me believe that whatever we see him in his last showing, it's meant to be part of half him, but it's still half corporate. So you can't really believe whatever we're going to be seeing. You can't really believe it genuinely that it's going to be meant to be. Now, CM Punk as the champion, it's going to be an interesting one, right? Like, how long can he be holding on to this title? How long will we be seeing him surpass to Royal Rumble or all the way to WrestleMania? Is this the plan to give him at least one of those nights? Maybe he can build it up to night 2 if Seth freaking Rollins comes back. Seth freaking Rollins against CM Punk. That seems like a WrestleMania opportunity if we actually do connect all the dots, if we actually do make the vision over to, there's just so many crazy ideas that could be happening, crazy thoughts that they could be implementing and changing, and it'll be interesting to see, right? It'll be interesting to see if where and how far the WWE would be taking CM Punk's reign, when and how far he would be winning, losing those titles, because just like John Cena, we know that these men are on the verge pretty much of leaving the company. Maybe not in the next few years, but it's just reminiscent to the part where how long are we going to be seeing them just continue to be those day-to-day people. I mean, obviously right now we got Jey Uso, who could be a day-to-day Braun Breaker, who could be a day-to-day Bronson Reed, but how long are we going to be seeing AJ Styles, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena? These people, we've seen them have become part-timers, have become these type of superstars that they don't really need to be risking up their body this whole time, right? They don't really need to be giving themselves up so much and sacrificing what would be pretty much their family, career, life, and everything to become and continue to just be able to be involved with the fans, with the storyline, with the everything, and in the actual action. So let me tell you, Drew McIntyre supposedly suspended for the attacking the official, but I mean, that was pretty much hilarious. The way he actually attacked him, the way we saw the explosion, the way we saw some type of changes being made, it was to the point of the fact that it was entertaining to see, right? It was good to be seeing some type of changes, some type of showing, some type of thing continue to grow. It was good to see some type of new change for the Drew McIntyre character, but where would the WWE be taking this to, right? Where would the WWE be changing it off and making it focus on? Because at the point, we're seeing Drew McIntyre just evolve and change into some type of bad guy. We're just seeing him be and become some type of person who is just filthy, right? He is becoming some type of degenerate, some type of person who shouldn't be, or is at the fact he is causing a ruckus, causing people to be crazy, causing people to not respect him, causing people to, not value what he brings to the table. At one point, we had him be the most personable, most contender, but now we're just to the fact where we're just not really understanding why we're seeing Drew McIntyre just continue to lose his opportunities. What will be the payoff? What will be the point where we see Drew McIntyre elevate and change his game and become that person, evolve into that championship personality that we all thought he could be? I mean, at one point, I believe that we were all cheering for the guy, and because he had a face-off against CM Punk, because he had a face-off and become some type of way, he became heel, and ever since his heel turn, it's pretty much been like, yeah, you can be a heel, Drew McIntyre, but you can't really become the face of the company. You can't be one of the heels we can push right now, just because of the fact that we need you to be going off against CM Punk. We need you to face off against the Cody Rhodes. We need you to face off against a Damian Priest so we can have a baby face. And it's funny how they've been doing these type of rivalries for Drew McIntyre, but it is true. I mean, this is one of the most truest things that are said, right? Drew McIntyre has been being caused by the officials, has been being caused by SmackDown, by Raw, by the implementations of what it takes to be him, of what it takes to be having this type of matches. And it's not fair It's not fair to the fact where why is it that he is right now getting these fines? Why is it that right now he is getting these type of misconstraneous things? I would like to know in the sense that Drew McIntyre, I feel like, has a bunch of personnel that would be behind him, right? There's a bunch of people that have seen what he did in the COVID era. He got the title, he had that thing, and could it be that he is just being played around? Well, the fact is, well, obviously not, right? These people are human beings. These people have real emotions. Are they just being creating some type of super mega monster that just really can't win a title? Those are the storylines that they build up, right? Those are the things that they create. Those are the things that they like to do. And I would like to know exactly what the officials like. What are they saying? What are their interactions? I know they have to take the bump. I know they would have to be in on it in the sense of what will be happening, what are the spots, where exactly, blah, 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 blah. You know, those are the behind the scenes of any type of wrestling environment. But I would like to know, like, are they really changing up the gimmicks just so that Drew McIntyre's gimmick could be of one that forever will never get the big title? That ever since the heel Drew McIntyre for one instance, heel Drew McIntyre could not be the one that picks up the title, right? Drew McIntyre as heel could not be the one who ever becomes the face of the company, because heel McIntyre is too unhinged. He is too crazy. He is too of a lunatic to be trusted. But babyface Drew McIntyre could definitely be one of the people that are carrying the brand, right? He could definitely be one of those people who are, for right now, being involved in carrying and being in the center stage of the whole shebang. But if not, then we wonder, well, what could we be seeing for this type of menace, for this type of thing? We have a stage set for the changes, for the things that we have seen. We have, of course, Aleister Black getting his inaugural push pretty much to the main event. Good, congratulations for him. Of course, Elijah Dragunov, he had refusing to do what he had against Tommaso Ciampa, and that's just one of the things where I am wondering what will we be seeing. What will be the payoff of that? I mean, I don't believe we'll be seeing Dragunov lose against Tommaso Ciampa. Could it be that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano break up? Could it be that, because they hinted at that before, it was pretty interesting. We even see a few trailers and things of the Black Heart. When are they going to give these men their own actual push? When are these men, why are they stuck in tag team limbo? And they're stuck in there for what seems to be an eternity, right? I mean, right now, they don't even have the titles. They had the titles. They don't seem to even be looking for the titles anymore, as they were looking for the opportunity to get the United States title. It comes to the fact where, all right, well, show me what you got and tell me what your next chapter in your career is. What exactly are you looking for? What exactly are we going to be constraining? Because, yeah, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, they're great guys. They're implementations of what have been done. They're good showers of what we've been seeing. But what exactly are we going to be changing? What exactly could we be seeing? What exactly could we be understanding by what we see in SmackDown or Raw? You know, what are we supposed to be understanding by what we see in the changes that there have been, due to the fact that, you know, Dragunov is an open contender, open book. He's accepting everyone. and he has to continue to accept the one. And that's what I expect us to see from Jada Cargill, right? She's not going to be afraid to back away. She's not going to be afraid to say no to a challenge. She would not be afraid of backing away and changing the game and breaking it all apart and just really standing her ground no matter who it could be. And the day she does lose, even if it might be at a fast pace, it's because she had multiple title defenses. And it's also, we count, of course, the longevity of how long they've had the title, but something that should matter statistically, something that the announcers should at least express a bit more, is the longevity and the necessary title defenses that there have been, because that would pay attention. And I believe Jada Cargill would be one of those people who will be putting up her title defense, who won't be scared to defend that title, who won't be scared to back away from any type of challenge. And it might be a little bit rough in the ring. She is a little bit of a rough player in that ring. We have seen a few botches. We have seen a few things being mistaken. A few, even that big old cut that she got. We could be saying that things don't always go as smoothly as planned. But at the same time, we are wondering, you know, that's just the nature of the game. Like she obviously has the experience. It's just about fine tuning. It's about tuning things up. It's about grinding it out. It's about making it better. And if you can make it better, it's gonna be better. And she'll definitely be able to continue to build up on that. She'll definitely build up, and it's gonna be interesting because right now we're gonna be seeing who is gonna be her real threat. Who is going to be what we believe to be her real threat for her title? I mean, it's not going to be anyone it's not going to be anyone crazy. It's not going to be anyone who will take away that title. And I just hope it's not a squash. I hope it's not some type of squash. But Triple A, talking about squash, Triple A has camote. Squash, camote, so good. Triple A is really, really entertaining in the sense of the fact that they're not afraid to pull the trigger on new ideas. They're not. We've seen almost over there. We've seen Chelsea Green and Nathan Paje get those titles. Nathan Page really doing some work against El Hijo del Doctor, Dr. Wagner. We get a bunch of interesting storylines, how they're trying to bring them on, like Laredo Kid and Evolve. Like, there's just a lot of interesting interaction, like El Grande Americano. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of, like, I believe, us audience here in the United States of America, we might be missing out on this televised action. We might be missing out on the content that is there. It's not really 100% well executed, well provided all the time, unless it's WWE's YouTube channel. Then it's gonna be kind of shoddy how you get it. And it's great. It's great because they don't care about those copyright laws. They don't care about using some copyright music, and it's pretty good when you get to see things how sometimes they were supposed to be without those creative songs that they are coming up with to make things better. But it does come to show, like, things are pretty much entertaining over there. Pretty much come take a look. It does get interesting. It does connect the dots. It does start to all make sense when you watch a bit of foreign wrestling, when you all can connect what we're seeing in these fights, what we're seeing, and how they're seeing them change over to what we're seeing in the inclusion of WWE superstars, NXT superstars, Evolve superstars. I mean, the branches for WWE right now are big enough for people to be getting their opportunity left and right, and things just to continue to be able to move forward, and people to be crowning themselves, to be rising up to the occasion, to be put in the main event. And the WWE fans would still be content, would still be happy to be seeing champions that they feel like can definitely represent the brand. And hopefully, all these champions, all these titles, all these ways that the WWE is changing, all these ways that we are seeing the wave of new things, of new, momentum for whatever we see in the WWE, for whatever we see in the upcoming years. Well, changes are good, and the changes that we have seen right now are definitely a fraction of what we'll be seeing for 2026. So, of course, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.